Welcome to the walkthrough of Aircall integration with Microsoft Dynamics. With this integration, we will see what it offers. We'll also go through a few scenarios, use cases of using Microsoft Dynamics with Aircall. So it offers single interface where you have the Aircall app within the Microsoft Dynamics 365, and it offers call controls within Dynamics 365 because the Aircall is sitting inside Dynamics. You have click to call where you can make manual calls and you can also receive inbound calls. So those options are available, and customer details are populated on the Dynamics based on the number of the customer who is being called or who's calling in. So based on the number of the customer. Then you have department-wise configurable customer details, which comes as pop-up. So you can have different departments, see different details about the customer. It can be a contact detail, it can be an account detail for somebody else. You can configure those things. So we'll see these things on the walkthrough, plus we'll see how the configuration page looks like. Okay, so you also have options to auto update call details, let it be the telephone number, duration, what type of call it was, automatically create it as an activity in your Dynamics 365. Plus, if the users have restriction in Dynamics to create or update certain fields, those things can be done automatically from appxconnect admin panel, where you can configure data to be updated. So that's where your custom input fields come in play. So we'll see all of this in the demo now. Okay, so here you have Microsoft Dynamics 365 in the screen, and this is your CIF panel, so which populates the Aircall interface here, right? So this is my dashboard. The integration is configured for Sales Hub for this walkthrough. You can configure this integration for any other app which you are using from Dynamics or any other custom built app developed by your Microsoft implementation team. Okay, so if you want to configure it for customer service, you can use it for that, or for field service or any other app which is available. Right. So a user logs in, he has all the data available, so he can sign in. So I'm using my credentials to log in. Right, so that's your Aircall complete app, which is there inside. Right, so you have all your functionalities there, your settings. If you have contacts uploaded, that is available. You have a keypad, the history of your calls being dialed, and your to-do list, which comes from Aircall. So that's a fully functional Aircall app you are able to see. And this is your Dynamics. You have accounts, you have contacts. So we've created few accounts and contacts for this demo, right? So you have leads, opportunities, and other things. So quotes, orders, invoice, products. So all of this, which is configured, is available. So for this walkthrough, we will see contacts and accounts more, because that is what is configured at this point of time, but you can have other things configured. Okay, so let's go to the dashboard, or let's do this. Let's go to contacts and dial a click to call. Let's call Tony Stark, right? So there you have the number being populated automatically on your Aircall. So I'm just dialing this particular contact. That's going to ring on my phone here. There you go. Mute it. Right. So you have the telephone number and the details available here about this particular case. If you want to open the case which is related. So Tony Stark has two incidents or cases in Microsoft Dynamics, or sorry, one incident in Microsoft Dynamics. It's about the order status update. So this is the case details, which is populated. Now in this, I want to create a new case. Let's say I can use this. This is configurable. You can create a new opportunity. You can create a new lead. So depending on the business requirement, you can create those things, right? So this screen, whatever you're seeing here is configurable. So case title can be demo with Aircall. I'm just giving a mandatory field, right? So save and close. Right. So now it's gone back to order update status, which was the previous screen. So now if this call is regarding this particular new case, I can tag this call to that particular case, right? So you can see demo with that call has come in now. I can open that, pin the customer record for this particular call, and then fill details, update the case. I can do all of that and then write call notes here, or I can use the notes option here to write, right? So let's say test notes. And then if I want to create questions which will help me for some other reasons, right? So I want to generate leads, or I want to capture some information which I want to update to this particular call. So I've just put a normal question which says owns a car. Let's say yes. Okay. So now I'm done with all my questions. Disconnect the call. Call is over. You have 30 seconds to wrap up this call. So now what happens with this is whatever we have created, whatever we have entered, owns a car, the notes, those gets updated into the activity, which will populate here once this interaction is disposed, right? So they will be available in the timeline for the contact as well as for the case. Both
Hey,
the
Sam,
cases, yeah.
I have a question, sorry. So when you made the call to Tony Stark with your number, so we can see it's Tony Stark on your Microsoft Dynamics, but why on Aircall the number was not registered as Tony Stark? It was registered on the appxconnect from Aircall, but on the Aircall side, we couldn't see your name. So is there a way that we can sync the customer's detail with the number on Aircall? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I got it. So we have not uploaded the contacts in Aircall. So once you have the contacts uploaded, it will show Tony Stark there.
Okay.
Right. So that is one thing I think we have missed. So the contacts, if it is uploaded and a part of Aircall panel, it will show that. Okay. Right. So now the call is over. We refresh the timeline. So you can see that there was a phone call from Sam Alexander, who is me, the user. Right. So I can open that. I can see that it was regarding the demo with Aircall, which was the case. Call to Tony Stark from Sam Alexander. You can see the number which was dialed, the call duration. If it was an inbound direction, no, the call was an outbound call. And you can see that I just made a small correction saying that yes, the customer owns a car. So that is also updated with the timestamp. And you can also see the call notes updated here. So this is for every interaction you have. If it's a call interaction, you can actually create activity automatically without any user inputs or user having to create it. It is done automatically because it is configured in the admin panel of appxconnect. So we will go to that after this walkthrough. All right. So that was click to call. Now let's do an inbound call. All right, fine. So now I have James Tyler who's calling me. So again, if the number was saved, it will say James Tyler. It's not saved, so it is showing this. Now this contact is related to two cases. So I can choose either of the one, open that on the Microsoft Dynamics. If it is only one, I can also configure in such a way that the screen automatically opens the customer profile, right? So normally we don't want it to automatically open because if the user is in some important update, if it automatically opens and a call comes in, that will disturb the update, whatever is happening. So that is why we have given an option for the user to choose what he wants to open, when he wants to open, right? So refund issue and a refund request. So there are two cases for James Tyler. Depends on which this call is about, I can do that, right? So I'm just pinning it on refund issue and saying open that. So how many other times I'm going to use this expand view icon, it will open the same way. And this necessarily need not be a contact and case. It can be a contact with account, account with, let's say, lead or opportunities. It can be codes, it can be orders, invoices, however you want to see. So based on the configuration, it works that way. Again, here also we have the same thing. If you want to add a case, you can add enter call notes, and then, so these fields are configured, and then disconnect the call. So we'll enter again test for Sam this time, then say yes, he owns a car, and then disconnect the call. So I can also use these notes option to enter notes and tags from here, which will get updated in the activity, which will come here, right? So I can do that as well. So now let's refresh to see the activity. So here we go. So it says phone call from James Taylor now, if you had seen that. So since it was an inbound call, it will say the call was from, and if it was an outbound call, it'll say call from Sam to, or the user to, right? So the same thing. So all the details are updated. Thanks everyone for your time. For more information, visit us at www.appxconnect.com.